or good morning, depending on where you are. Hang on just a second. Let me set everything while I'm at a stop so I can focus on driving. I hope everyone's doing well. Got a new camera and had to upgrade my phone because my phone was like 10 years old. Uh, Believe it or not, I had a iPhone XR. Like, I got a newer one now. And I didn't get the bougie, but the camera's new, so I'm trying to get used to. Hey, KP, good morning. Are y'all raining over there? Because we have high clouds. Like, we have the stratonimbus clouds out here, or stratocumulus. Watching the People's Republic of Michigan feeding 6,000 cows. Good Lord. Man, farmer, you need to post a picture of what that looks like. Because, I've seen ranches here, but in Texas, they're so damn spread out. Like, you see maybe 100 cows. But you can see cows way the hell off in the distance. I can't even fathom 6,000 of these things all, mooing and pooping all in the same time. But, that causes global warming. The private jets people use have nothing to do with it. But that's a joke, by the way. Hey, Rebecca Lynn, good morning. TD, good morning. Loretta. There you go. Make some money, lady. Absolutely, Loretta. In this economy, if you can save money or make money extra, that's a good thing. Actually, it's funny from a business perspective that you mentioned that. Hey, oops. Good morning, Daryl. And anyone I missed in there. I'm looking at the chat when I hit a red light. So from a business perspective, there are two ways to become a profitable business, right? One is to make more money than your costs, right? That's the obvious one. The other one is to reduce your cost or exposure on the inside. So if you can find a different product that saves you 10%, that's not bad, right? If you can make 10% more, that also gives you the extra 10% of money you need. If you can do both, get a substitute product that's less expensive and make extra money somehow, then you really made a 20% margin. Does that make sense? Because you're earning 10% on the outside and you're saving 10% on the inside. Hey, Leslie, good morning. Hey, farmer. So, and everyone should think like that when you buy something or get something new. Even if up front there's more costs, say you need a new vehicle and you're like, interest rates, payment's going to be a little higher. But then you're like, well, I'm putting $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 into my existing car just to keep it running. In addition to, whatever, would you do the math and see, does it make sense? Or do you sell the old vehicle while it's still working and trade it in and use that equity onto a new vehicle so you don't have to battle the repairs? I think you guys know what I'm saying, and every situation is different, right? You might be a mechanic or really good at that, and you're like, oh, I can repair this for $100. A lot of people may not have that skill. But yeah, if you can save money, this is exactly why my husband doesn't want anything other than square body Chevys. Easy to work on. Yeah. The old school Chevys, funny you mentioned square body Chevys. I haven't owned a Toyota in years, and I now have one. I finally traded in the old F-150, and I was to that point, I kept doing repairs, and I'm like, and everything started when the hailstorm hit. The body shop left it without a hood in the Texas heat, and it was like 100 to 105 for about a month and a half with no hood, so all the hoses got exposed to the heat and the dry, and it just sat there for a couple of months. So I started getting weird leaks, and I kept doing repairs myself. Some of them I couldn't do. I needed a lift, so I had to send it to the shop. And I'm like, all right, I'm at that point. I've had this car for 8 years now. It's almost to the point I'm like, this is starting to be a diminishing return. And then I was afraid the transmission would go out with all those leaks, or something like that would happen. And then I couldn't get trade-in equity. So I was like, all right, I had to bite it. I did not like it, but I'm happy with the new vehicle, or newer vehicle. By the way, you can save a... It's interesting, some of the vehicles, the old Chevys and the newer Toyotas keep their value. Like if you go and look at their trade-in versus purchase price, you actually don't lose a lot of money on those brands. The old Fords as well. The newer Fords that have that weird 10-speed transmission are having a lot of issues, which I didn't know. I should have done more homework on that. Oh, did we have oh, awesome. Yay, first troll of the morning. By the way, I've noticed when I do the vertical video, I get so many more trolls than the horizontal. Thank you, KP, for removing. Hey, Mila, good morning. So yeah, folks, if you're in this inflationary economy, making extra money on the side, if you're good at baking, if you have a skill, you're a plumber, you're a welder, you're a handyman or handywoman, you can tile, that's a good way to make some money on the side. But if you can save costs in your house, right? Let's, you know, change your cell phone plan, or I don't know, use less water at the house. You know, there may be wisdom to when our parents and grandparents would be like, turn the light off, it's expensive. We're at that point again. We actually have to turn the lights off, got to save some money, you know. Hey, Jason, good morning. That's what I'm doing right now. Jules is turning off the lights. Do what you can in this economy. Jason, always good to see you, my friend. Do what you can in this economy. Hey, J-Flow, to make things a little less painful. No side hustle, but still, even if you don't have the bandwidth to do a side hustle, if you can save some money, you know, like I've said before, like say you go to Costco or Sam's or one of the bulk stores and you buy 8 to 10 pounds of chicken breast. Well, obviously you're not going to eat it all at once, but if you vacuum seal it, you buy a vacuum sealer, which again, it's an investment, a couple of $100 or $100, depending on which one you get. You seal up the chicken, you freeze it. Well, over time, you're going to save money, because think about it. You go out for chicken, rice, and veggie dinner at a restaurant. Nowadays, at minimum, a sit-down restaurant is going to be $20 for the meal plus $4 for a drink. So you're looking at anywhere from $30 to $50 just for the couple. You're bringing kids out. That's a lot of money. Whereas if you use that frozen chicken, even with the cost of like the food saver kind of factored in over time, you're going to come out ahead. And that's a good thing. So Loretta, I've actually got, I have my FAA pilot's license for my drone, which means I can work for companies legally. A lot of companies will hire, like a real estate agent may hire a friend to do videos of the house. My problem is time. I need to schedule time to put some videos on that business website, stuff I've done already, and see if any companies will bite and be interested. Actually, after the windstorm, the next few days should be calm, so I might throw my drone in the air and start. I'm going to video my own roof to make sure we didn't get any damage, but I may put it out on the community pages and Facebook. Hey, I'm a licensed drone pilot. If you need pictures for insurance, I can do it, and I won't charge much, right? $50, something like that, just to provide people a service. But you know, I do 4 or 5 houses. It's a couple of $100. Most drone pilots will charge $200 for a house inspection. So I'm new. I don't want to undercut the market, but you know, a little side hustle never hurts. Hey, Moldy, what's going on? Tennessee Tactical, good morning, sir. How are y'all? So I got a bunch of videos. You probably see the premieres are posted out almost like a week and a half out, because I just found out I'm going to be traveling to multiple states in the next couple of weeks. At least that's what it looks like this morning. So I'm going to be on the road, and you know how it is. I don't know where I'm going to be. I get stuck in an airport, I'll do an hour-long live stream while I'm having a rum and coke, but if I'm in an airplane, I can't do that, so we'll see. It'll be busy. This guy is making a mistake here. He almost got hit by a pickup truck. Why do people insist on running across the street when they don't have the little walk symbol guy. Like you don't have the crossing symbol. Don't run across the traffic. It's all work trucks out here. Like, you're gonna get hit and you're gonna get hurt. It's not like you're gonna get up and go, oh, I'm good. No, an F-250 hits you with a cattle guard on the front, you're gonna hurt. Everyone buy Pete's book. Thank you, Farmer. I saw your review, by the way. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. I'm still working on the other one. That one's a much longer book. I didn't realize when I got into writing a geopolitical fiction, it takes time. Like, there's some days I'll sit down at the keyboard and go, I don't remember what the hell I was gonna do. And I have to like back away from it. I don't know how full-time authors do this, because I need a minute to kind of conjure an idea, and then I'm like, ooh, I'll incorporate this into the storyline. I'm hoping to make it interesting and a little bit horrifying. So when it's public, I will let everyone know. I'm super excited about it. Even if I sell 4 copies, I don't care. It was something on my bucket list to publish a couple of books in my lifetime, so I can't complain. But thank you, Farmer. I do appreciate it. Folks, look, we're going to see inflation for a while. It's going to be inflationary. Things are going to be expensive. Be smart. Save money on the inside by saving your, reducing your costs where you can. You may not be able to. If you can do a side hustle on the outside, great. Also, keep in mind, you don't necessarily have to make more money or cut costs. There are other ways to get what you need. For example, you may trade skills for a product. Someone may say, hey, I have a solar panel. And you look, I don't have the money, but I can redo your flower beds for you. And because you have that gardening skill. And so you exchange the skill set for the solar panel. I'm just coming up with a stupid example, but you guys understand what I'm talking about. You absolutely can do a trade. It's basically you're bartering, and then you don't have to report that on taxes because it's technically not income, where you could say, hey, look, I can help you. I'll do the photography for your high schooler's homecoming. And how about, you help me bake bread for my upcoming event or something. You guys get creative. There are ways for us to source what we need. Hey, good morning, Shorty. It's nice to see you today. Hey, Frank Short. Yeah, I barter a lot. There's nothing wrong with that. Hell, I know people who have just started becoming firearms owners, and they're like, wow, I really don't know how to clean my own firearm. Like, they're absolutely new to this stuff. So I've had people say, hey, look, can you help me clean my shotgun or whatever after clay shooting? I'm like, sure, I will be happy to. How about you share my website to someone. You know what I mean? There are ways you can do things to kind of add value to another person. And then more importantly, you build relationships, right? If there was a bad incident, if there was a shift, as people are saying nowadays. So if you hear TikTokers come on YouTube and you start hearing shift, it's because saying it the other way gets people in trouble on certain platforms. So now they're saying shift because the algorithm doesn't care. But yeah, you find ways to either make a little more money, save a little money, or use your skills or your time as a bartering tool to get what you may need from someone else, or exchange things you need. You have chickens. My dog is named Mensch. I'm getting the answers last night. Oh, that's funny. Hey, Moonsprout, good morning, good morning. But folks, take the time to learn some skills and also develop those relationships, right? In an emergency, in a shift, as I was starting to say earlier, knowing that I've done work with this person, I've done exchanges with this person, we have a reputation for honesty with one another is a big point. Um, because I mean, look at all the problems Facebook Marketplace has, right? People go to sell an Xbox or something and they get held up, right? But my neighbor, we made a bunch of, during Christmas, he's a new neighbor, we made a bunch of pastries and we were giving them to our neighbors. Like, hey, if they were there, like, hey, here you go, Merry Christmas. And he left me a bottle of tequila with 2 little shot glasses in a basket. I'm like, bro, that was quite nice. That was a lot. We just gave you like a bunch of different Spanish and American types of cookies mixed together. And he's like, no, man, it's all good. This is community. And I'm like, okay, this guy thinks like me. It's community. And then he's Mexican, so he's like, yeah, besides a Mexican, so like tequila's always a good gift, which I totally agree with as a Puerto Rican guy. But he thinks like that. Now I know I have someone who's on my wavelength, who's my neighbor. His wife works out of the house. I work out of the house part-time, and so does my wife. So we're always seeing each other. The guy next door is retired, so we check on him. Okay, Moonsprout, great example. You're hatching chickens for your neighbors. And that's great. And then if you might need eggs or you might need garden produce at some point, they may be able to reciprocate. And that is huge. Again, my coworkers who are new to firearms, I'll take them out for instruction. It may get me a free lunch. One gal, we went clay shooting, and she was all excited because she'd never done this before. And I wound up with a little bottle of rum. I mean, I didn't ask for it. I was doing it as a friend and a coworker. But those are the kind of relationships you want to build because they add value. And I think we don't do enough to talk about human interactions and relationships in the prepper community. And for the record, one of these girls, I call them girls because they're way younger than me. She's a grown woman, obviously. She's a professional. She came from a country where the firearms were banned, and her brother or one of her relatives got thrown in jail for speaking up against their government. So she came here and she's all about, like most of her family fled, and they all came here legally. So she's very upset about the jihadis and the Tren de Araguas, all these gangs and extremists that have come here. She's like, that's why I came here, to get away from them, and now they brought them here. So she's on my wavelength too. And to her, I think we have a convert, right? She's like, oh, this is great. I need to do this again. This is wonderful. She has kids, so she's like, I need to get a safe so I can store safely. And then the question started, well, how do I get a safe? And then, like, if someone comes in, I can get my gun quickly. So I explained, those little keypad safes where your pistol can come out. There's another one. She's been helping me teach the new shooters. She's super experienced, and but you build those relationships now. You know who those people are that you can go to. Hey, Hudson, good morning. Hey, Teresa, good morning. Good morning. So good to see you on Preparedness. Oh yeah, that was fun, Daryl. That was a hoot. Hanging out with Hudson is always fun. And we will be doing the Four Horsemen tomorrow. I almost got sent to another state, Mike, and then they were like, no, wrong week, go next week. So I'm like, perfect. So, but yeah, I don't think we do enough to talk about building relationships. Even the veterans group out here, I'm not a Green Beret. I was a guardsman. Like, I went out for hurricanes and shit like that. I was kind of between Desert Storm and GWAT, if you know what I mean. And a lot of these younger guys, they went downrange. My son went downrange, and they struggle. So I'm there for them. I don't care if I get invited to anything. I want to be supportive of them. But you build these relationships, and I'm like, man, that's a hell of a mag we got right there. I just found out a guy's been my friend for 4 years up here, is a full-blown ham radio operator. He's going for his advanced license, whatever it is. I guess the general. It's a technician, and general's the next level. Maybe I got him backwards. So now the guys are all buying Baofangs, and we're all getting GMRS radio licenses because we're setting repeaters up in the city. and we're trying to get them with a little solar panel so we don't have to keep checking on them. And you know, that would be really valuable to already know, hey, look, on this frequency, you know, I don't know, GMRS 8 or MERS green, we can all communicate, hey, something went down, let's get on the radio, let's find out what the hell's going on. And I know these guys, right? I know what they've been through. I also know their skill sets, right? So that has a lot of value. So yeah, I'm doing spot checks. Anybody said hi? I didn't respond. Hey, Moldy, no worries, man. Mad Shad, always good to see everyone's favorite Marine out here. Well, besides Devil Dog, everyone loves Devil Dog too. Texas Homestead and Prepper Bazaar has been in Bandera. That's outside of San Antonio, no? I might have to actually go there. So what you're saying is I need to schedule the trip for April 5th or thereabouts. So I'll just be in town. I might be able to do that. Now you got me thinking, Moonsprout, shoot me an email. I might come down just to say hi to folks. Yes, Hudson, absolutely. It's super cheap. It's what, a 10-year license? And it covers everyone in the house. So my having the license covers my wife as well. And if you have a teenager, I think over 16, they're under it as well. I don't remember the stipulations. I actually have my Baofeng set up for FRS, MERS, and GMRS. It does have ham channels on there, but I don't screw with them. I just eavesdrop because I'm not supposed to, and I don't want to get myself or anyone else in trouble doing dumb stuff. But yeah, it's super cheap. It's like a 7-year license, 10-year. I don't remember. It's years. I mean, when you average it as $5 a year or something like that, like that's nothing. So, folks, at least start there and start playing with the radio. Get comfortable with it, but build those relationships. You know, if you have some neighbors you want to go walking in the park, go with your neighbors. You know, ladies, my daughter-in-law has made all sorts of friends. She's the queen of networks. And she's also a former NCO. She's an Army girl. So she goes hiking with the captain's wife, the colonel's wife, all the other sergeants' wives. All the ladies go together. She's networked with the doctors, the nurses. Everyone knows my daughter-in-law, right? She's tall, she's pretty, she's very personable. She's tough as shit. Like I said, my son met her while she was like beating up a dude in basic training or in MP school. So, you know, she knows the game. She's like, no, I'm going to make my network now. I'm going to make my friends. But the other day, one of the ladies' kids got sick, and she's like, I got other kids, but my youngest one fell down or got hurt. I don't remember. And on the text chain, she said that it was incredible. It was just like all the women are like, drop the teenager here, or I'll be right over. I'll pick up your kids, pull your car seat out so I can bring them to my house. I'll order some pizza, give me a sleeping bag. That's what you need. Midland Radios, they make some great car-based GMRS. Oh, really? Okay, I'll look at that. Thank you, Hudson. And folks, look, build those networks. You can do that for free. Go to the farmer's market. Go to the stuff like Moonsprout talked about, these bazaars, these markets, these gatherings. That's where you start meeting people. That's where you start building those relationships. When things go bad and you have people around you, you know you can trust that are of like mind, that makes a world of difference. In Louisiana, when we got hit with Hurricane Lily, this was pre-Katrina, and I was not in New Orleans. I was outside. My whole subdivision, we got cut off, but we all knew each other because we always barbecued 4th of July, Mardi Gras. Like, there was continual parties in Louisiana. So we all started cooking our meat as quickly as we could. And it was basically a 2-day drunk block party. And there were dogs and kids and bikes up and down the street. And, you know, people would come knock on each other's door. Hey, a limb just fell on so-and-so's yard, and they're having trouble pulling it out. So 5 or 6 guys went down there. One dude brought an ATV, and we dragged it out of the area, and then we cut it up, and now they had firewood. Like, the whole neighborhood, like the whole 3 blocks, it was a little bitty subdivision. All these Cajun and Creole and Texas transplants all went there, and we were just helping each other. And that's what it's about. When the sheriff drove by, he'd come by real slow, see everyone. He's like, y'all not driving, right? Because you're clearly drinking. We're like, no, sir, we're good where we are. All right. He said, call the non-emergency line if you need something. And he just, old man just drove on past with his deputy. That's the kind of relationship you want. You want that relationship with law enforcement and your responders and with your neighbors. So church is a former bomb shelter. And Trish, you can even talk to the church and say, hey, look, this would be a great place to have emergency goods in a locked closet in the event, God forbid, tornado and someone loses a house. Maybe not for the whole community, but even if you have an emergency stash or loaner stuff like a camping stove and some propane, that you can be like, oh, so-and-so had, a tornado came by and they have no power. Well, you can lend them the camping stove and some items that they can at least get by with. Even if it's not everything they need, having someone come and check in on them and help them psychologically is a big deal. And it makes a difference. Hey, Neil, good morning. So, folks, I got to go to, speaking of the veterans group, I got to go to a coffee with one of the guys that's actually a business partner. And probably we're going to talk shit. And I'm going to see how his baby's doing. They just had their first kiddo after 3 miscarriages, and they just greeted a new little girl. This is a Marine Corps vet, hell of a good guy, and I'm super excited for them. And the baby's gorgeous. Like, thank God she looks like mom, because Dad, I told him, you look like a fucking potato. I'm glad your child doesn't look like you. She looks like you enough to know it's yours, and the cuteness came from mom. And he laughed because he's like, yeah, I do look kind of like a potato. But anyway, I'm going to go mess with my buddy Potato over here. You guys be good, be safe out there. Hey, half-ass, sorry I didn't see you earlier. And take care of yourselves and build those relationships. You can do it online. Hudson's having gatherings. Vision's having gatherings. I think Hutch is having a gathering in Missouri. I've heard bits and pieces. Go meet someone. Make some new friends. We don't live in a vacuum. So also you get to know who you shouldn't trust, right? It goes both ways. So you guys be good, be safe out there. I'll see you all later.